what's up? Hello, it's your astrology homegirl Q back with another astrological update for you. And this week we do have a full moon in the sign of Scorpio. We have Mercury finally going direct, and we also have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and relationships, ingressing into her home sign of Taurus. So definitely a lot of energy to get into. But before we dive too deep, if you would like to work with me one-on-one or would like to collab in any sorts of way, definitely check out the links that I have in the description box and my work email there as well. That being said, let's hop in. Again, happy birthday to all you Tauruses out there. We are definitely working our way into your season here, and there is just like a lot. I'm sure you all are so ready for Mercury retrograde to be over. Baby, me too, okay? We right there with it. So let's hop in. Okay, so starting the week off, Monday, April 22nd, we do have the moon in the sign of Libra, seeking peace, seeking harmony, seeking lovely, lovely things. However, unfortunately, the moon will be opposing 4 placements, planets in the sign of Aries. And so communication, insecurities, there might be some accusations and conflicts coming up in our intimate relationships, in our home settings, dealing with the moon, within our body even. Internally, we might be finding that we're struggling and trying to just like figure out how we're feeling, where we're at, and why. Definitely just move tentatively this day. Emotions will be running high. It is Monday, traditionally the moon's day, so it's like emotional already. Emotions will be tense, you know what I'm saying? Feelings will run high, and so just be patient. Try to give yourself and others space and grace while we work through this Monday. Now, Tuesday, April 23rd, we do have the full moon in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this lunation is incredibly powerful. It is definitely bringing up opportunities for potent, transformative energy to be brought about. Things that were seeded in the beginning of the new moon now are being brought to fruition, and it's having to do with aspects that are hidden deep within our psyche, okay? Things that we don't normally address or are even aware of. Now, because like I said, this is a potent lunar cycle because there is a Pluto T-square to both the sun and the moon, really challenging us to address issues that we might have kept buried in the past and like don't want to address at all. But Pluto, again, is that planet of like purging and exposure and catharticism that is like I said, deeply transformative. So that's what we're seeing with this new moon. Now, just a little background on this transit in this lunation cycle. Like, imagine this energy as like a double-barreled gun, right? With the force of 2 directions pushing us to confront a particular target in our lives. And despite this intensity, there is still some room for like maneuvering and negotiation to happen. We may find ourselves in confrontational situations for sure, but we also have the opportunity to navigate them skillfully, really avoiding potential harm and wounds. Now, the Scorpio moon and Taurus sun really emphasize our natural survival instincts, really prompting us to protect our safety and security. Trusting our immediate responses during this time will be crucial, as they are likely to be instinctual and aligned with our deepest needs. The T-square suggests that we may need to close down an option that no longer serves us, despite the natural determination of fixed signs like Taurus and Scorpio to persist. Instead of resisting change, we can focus our energy on cutting ties that no longer benefit us, leading to a sense of immediate relief. The opposition between the sun and the moon, with Pluto's 90-degree aspects to both, indicates a clash of polar points of view and fluctuating situations. However, with Mars in Pisces disposited by the moon, there is a sense of adaptability and fluidity that can help us navigate these tensions moving forward. Overall, the Scorpio full moon encourages us to delve deep into our emotions, confront our fears and desires, and embrace transformation. By being open to change and trusting our instincts, we can navigate this intense energy with grace and emerge stronger and more self-aware on the other side. Wednesday, April 24th, we do have some more stabilizing and grounding energy coming our way as the Scorpio moon is trining Saturn, really helping us address and sit with some of these emotions and get like find some discipline to get through them and address them, since a lot has been brought up with the eclipse. A lot is being brought forth with the full moon in Scorpio the day before. So this is really giving us the opportunity to like sit with what we feel, get some grounding, stabilize where we're at, and then Venus will be conjuncting Iris that day as well. So like really giving us like the audacity, like, yeah, you know what, actually let's talk about it. You know what? I've been thinking about some things and I really actually want to address that. Yeah, it's funny that you brought that up. That's the energy of that Wednesday. Wednesday is the day of communication, so do with that what you will. Definitely, of course, still be tentative. The Scorpio moon is still a very sensitive, defensive, and fixed energy. So understand that we are still moving in that as a collective. Thursday, April 25th, we have a lot of transits to look forward to, definitely moving this energy along. It's been very emotionally heavy, but today we're going to be waking up feeling stimulated, feeling active. We have the Scorpio moon opposing both Jupiter and Uranus. Now, that's going to have us like bolted out of our sleep. You may wake up and be like, baby, what's the next move? I need to get to it. I have a to-do list and I'm getting everything done and checked off for sure today. It's this very excited, innovative energy that we're going to be waking up and moving into action with. We're going to see maybe even like rapid developments happening that were unexpected, or just like kind of coming together a lot faster than we thought, which is amazing. That is also going to be supported with the fact that we do have Mercury shifting out of retrograde, so it's moving direct, which is going to be amazing. This direction change for Mercury, why it will be helpful to us is that it's going to help like stimulate and shift our ability to communicate with one another. Our mental clarity is going to clear up and become much more rapid and like fire, because this is a sign of Aries. Is going to be creatively enlightening and exciting for us. We're going to see forward movement that is supported by the moon as well, which encourages us to follow our passions and desires and to communicate that clearly. So this is going to be an amazing day. Thursday, hopefully for you all as well, you will feel this shift of motion all over, right? Now, throughout the day, the moon does form harmonious trines with both Mars and Neptune, further fueling our motivation and idealism. These aspects really provide opportunities for creative and inspired action, making it a really great day for pursuing our goals with like enthusiasm and great imagination now. Don't hold yourself back. Like, imagine the big things and try to go after it. Thursday's also Jupiter's day. I am loving how these aspects are kind of falling on these days, but Jupiter rules Thursday, day of expansion, of luck, of wealth, and growth. So definitely lean into these themes that are kind of naturally coming up for us. As the evening approaches, there are going to be some intense emotional energies of the Scorpio moon that may feel a bit overwhelming. This feeling is likely to shift as the moon enters Sagittarius, though, which is going to be a nice release. You might feel liberated, a little adventurous as the night ends that Thursday. The moon will sextile to Pluto later as well, encouraging us to like envision the many possibilities that lie ahead of us. Again, imagine big, imagine strong, and imagine transformative growth that seems unimaginable even, you know what I'm saying? Like, challenge yourself in your imagination that night with Pluto's energy. This aspect really is going to offer a glimpse into the transformative potential of our current experiences, you know, inspiring us to really embrace change and growth. Overall, you know, Thursday is going to just be this very dynamic and forward movement and energy shift for the collective as a whole. See how these energies play out in your personal charts by figuring out where Pluto and the moon and Mars and Neptune are like falling for you. So Friday, the day of love, ruled by Venus, April 26th. We don't have a whole lot going on in the sky except for that Sagittarius moon really taking on the open road with no stop signs, no yield signs, just green lights go. Take on adventure, be spontaneous today, really lean into activities that give you this sense of like being liberated and just finding yourself in this deeper spiritual knowing of the self that feels almost like you're exploring new land within yourself, new aspects within yourself. So yeah, I guess that's really it for Friday. Dang, yeah. Take it easy, y'all. We getting a little breather. And in the sign of Sagittarius, the moon is just, our bodies are feeling so much freer. And like, we have this ability to just, this stamina to go and explore. So lean into it. Have a ball, folks. Have a wonderful Friday is what I'm gonna lean into. Sagittarius rising. I'm about the vibes, y'all. We do have later in that evening, we may feel like inspired to connect with ourselves or engage in introspective activities like journalism, or journaling. I mean, thanks to like this harmonious trine between the moon and Mercury happening later that evening, this aspect is perfecting just after midnight. So really technically on the hills or like the tippy toes of Saturday morning, I guess. It's going to promote, communication and self-expression as we start the day off that Saturday, making it an ideal time to share our thoughts and feelings with others and reflect on our experiences through writing. Now, moving into that next morning, is Saturday, April 27th. We do have the Sagittarius moon moving into a square with Saturn, and this is really creating a sense or feeling of grand limitation or being misunderstood, and even further being silenced in our misunderstanding and our expression of self. So you might be feeling very upset, very agitated, really uncomfortable within yourself and your ability to communicate what it is that you need. It could be that there's a judgmental comment or statement made or like an action taken that really disrupts us in our feelings and our comfortability within a relationship, within a setting like a job, workplace, or your home. So definitely move tentatively early that morning. We have a few other transits that's definitely going to shift gears for us and move us and redirect us into a place of healing and restoration. We have this moon Chiron trine, making it easier to mend some of the emotional wounds and find some inner peace from what we experienced earlier that morning. This aspect will be perfecting around like 9 a.m. It really will be encouraging us to focus on self-care and healing practices. So Saturday morning, definitely, if you're able to, just carve out some intentional time for yourself to get some grounding and structure around what it is that you're needing personally. Later in the day, there is a strong desire for like some solo adventuring, highlighted by a trine between the moon and Uranus around 5:21 p.m. This aspect really inspires us to break free from routine and explore new experiences on our own terms. However, that evening does bring a potential for challenges as the moon will square Mars, which could lead to heightened emotions and conflicts. It's important to be mindful of like impulsivity and any aggression during this time, as the intensity of this aspect could lead to heated disagreements. The day does end though on a more soothing note, so definitely just like keep your perseverance up that day. Take it slow and intentional. The moon will trine Venus just before midnight, and this aspect is really going to encourage us to indulge in simple pleasures and to enjoy the company of loved ones around us. Watching a romantic movie or engaging in activities that like bring us joy can really help alleviate any earlier disappointments and restore a sense of harmony and connection within ourselves and those in our immediate environments. Now, Sunday, April 27th, this is definitely the highlight or the astrological highlight of the day. We have Mars and Neptune conjoining in the sign of Pisces. This is definitely creating for us this dreamy and imaginative atmosphere to work within and flow within. The most important aspect of this transit is really leaning into the flow of life and allowing things to kind of unravel before us and for us to have empathy and compassion as things continue to flow our way, and to, instead of always trying to control and force and hurry the aspects of process, to instead really sit and allow yourself to kind of bleed into it, instead of control and guided. So there's this very harmonious, beautiful way of our will and self-power and creative spirit is able to find dissolve in this moment. It can be quite frustrating if you are trying to intentionally now move, since Mercury is now, moving forward in Aries, and our mind is gaining some clarity finally, but our actions are still asking us to slow down, to relax, to go with the flow of things. Think things through for sure, but the actual action behind it, I think there's like a period of healing that is still being highlighted that we need to focus on. Now, the day does begin with the moon entering goal-oriented Capricorn around 2:38 a.m., really setting the stage for us for a day of focus, ambition, and achievement. However, the influence of the Mars-Neptune conjunction, y'all, like I said, suggests that our efforts may be more effective if we allow ourselves to be guided by intuition and inspiration rather than rigid plans. Now, as the day progresses, the moon forms a harmonious trine with the sun around 7:27 p.m., really bringing a sense of peace and contentment. This aspect reminds us that sometimes, even without a clear landmark or direct or like definite direction, we can still feel grounded and secure on our journey. Monday, April 29th, we have Venus ingressing into the earthy sign of Taurus after having spent quite a bit of time in the fiery sign of Aries. And this shift is happening sometime around 4:31 a.m. that Monday. Now, this is going to signify a time where the goddess of love and beauty is ready to settle down after her amorous time in the sign of Aries. While in the sign of Taurus, Venus finds that she values deeply loyalty, stability, and predictability, and not only in her love affairs, but material matters as well. Now, what this can kind of also show up as is a possessiveness and a stinginess almost to hold tight to the things that we value and we care for deeply. So do be aware of how you are valuing the things that you're valuing, you're loving the people that you're loving, and you're holding close the things that matter the most to you. How you share with others around this time also will tell a lot as far as how you are moving in this Venus Taurian energy moving forward. Now, the Capricorn moon definitely navigates through a variety of planetary aspects today as well, starting off with a harmonious sextile to Saturn around 8:28 a.m. This aspect definitely helps us set up our agenda for the day, providing a sense of structure and discipline after that Mars and Neptune transit, where it's going to be helpful to have that. Now, a challenging square between the moon and Mercury just 15 minutes later could definitely lead to impatience and frustration, especially if we feel constrained by following a rigid script or plan that we did not plan for. Later that afternoon, though, the moon does square Chiron at like 3:48 p.m. in conjunction with the South Node around 4:11 p.m. may bring up issues of low self-esteem, particularly related to feeling like we haven't achieved much as we expected. It's important to really be gentle with ourselves during this time and not let negative feelings overshadow our accomplishments. Now, as the day progresses, the moon does trine to Uranus and Jupiter, offering a sense of liberation and confidence, which will be much needed, helping us to really break free from any lingering negativity that's still kind of holding our spirit hostage at that point. The final square between the moon and Mercury just before midnight could stir up a new round of like dissatisfaction, reminding us to stay flexible and open-minded in our approach to challenges that we are facing here and there. Now, Tuesday, April 30th, the transit that we're going to want to keep an eye out on for sure is Venus semi-squaring Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. With this transit, it's really going to bring about conflicts within our relationships, particularly around power, control, and transformation. With Venus in the sign of Taurus, the focus is around loyalty and stability. However, with Pluto being in the sign of Aquarius, is seeking out change and evolution. And this could really bring about conflicts within our relationships on how we address and move about love and loyalty and connection. Now, as the moon completes its journey through Capricorn in the morning, it forms a sextile to Neptune and Mars, really helping us gracefully tie up loose ends and prepare for new beginnings. However, the mood will definitely shift as the moon enters independent Aquarius and Mars moves into Aries around 8:32 a.m. Now, this is also a major transit because Mars ingressing into its own sign of Aries, it is being empowered and it feels completely in control and capable of pulling upon all of its natural abilities within that sign. This combination of energy really encourages us to assert our independence and take bold action in pursuit of our goals moving forward. Now, relationships may be particularly challenging on this day with Venus semi-squaring Saturn and the squares to passionate Pluto. This aspect triggers lessons around loyalty, boundaries, and transformation, leading to potential conflicts and power struggles at the end of the day. People may be most reactive late that morning when the moon squares Venus, semi-squaring Saturn, and conjoins Pluto, highlighting the need for patience and understanding in our interactions. Overall, April 30th, it is definitely a day of intense energies, particularly in relationships. By remaining open to change and willing to address any underlying issues, we may be able to navigate these influences with greater understanding and compassion, which is something we're all going to need. And with that, we have the last week of April. I do want to thank you for spending time with me here today. As always, if you like what you've heard here, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, definitely check out the description box below where I have all that contact information below. And if you would like to help this community grow because you keep coming back and it's a vibe, definitely don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share this video with your folks. Let them know the deeds and what's going on, how the stars can communicate with them as well. And I am never without appreciation for all the support that I get here, and I am just so happy to see the community grow. And I look forward to being back next week with y'all. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your week, whichever day this falls on for you, and I can't wait to see you back next week.